Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 84 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 84. So, today I I was just kind of thinking how to recognize God's hand in my life, and there's this thought quote, something I read in one of my meditational books by President Nelson. Anyway, it said that we should work to live, not live to work. And that's just kind of been playing in my head today. And I was so grateful for that thought playing in my head. It's actually been playing in my head for like a week or two since I read it, because I was like, oh, that's so good. Because right now I just feel like my job is draining and I'm just basically living to work and I'm not working to live. So I'm like, I would like to figure out how I can work to live so that I can enjoy my life. Or maybe I just need to figure out how to enjoy my life. One or the other of those. But today, I left and everybody else was still working. And not that I at work, I just left work when everybody else was still working, and I didn't feel guilty and I didn't care, which is fantastic, because when I started that job, someone else started like 3 weeks after me, and I was always paying attention to how many more hours that she got. She was worried about getting in overtime, and I couldn't even get 40 hours because they weren't scheduling me the whole time, and I was just really super jealous and frustrated. And today I'm like, it's 5 o'clock. I'm out of here. And I don't care how late everybody else stays. I don't care how many hours anybody else is going to get. I'm leaving. So I don't care. I mean, we have one person, like we had Monday for a holiday, one person that called in sick. We're already short one person because my other coworker quit. So we're basically down 2 people to do the job. So we need 6 people and we have 5 people to do the job, which is, it's hard to make up for one person, but it's a lot harder to make up for 2 people. And so it's just been basically doing a lot of phone work and phones and interactions with patients and things, but not being able to do paperwork. And there's a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. So we're behind on all the paperwork. We're behind on a bunch of phone calls, a whole bunch of things that we're getting behind on. And we were all caught up last week, so it's just this week that we're behind. So I'm like, it can't be that hard. And then they sent out an email today saying that we can do overtime on Friday. So Friday's a half day. It's like a 5-hour day instead of an 8-hour day. So we can actually stay the whole 8 hours and do overtime, which isn't really overtime because Monday was a holiday. So it's going to be just regular hours, because it's not like we're going to work more than 40 hours. At least I'm not, because I'm not working 10 hours a day every day this week just to get 48 hours for the week. And even if I did 10 hours a day every day this week, I would still only get paid 40 hours. It wouldn't be overtime. It would be 48 hours straight time because it's a holiday and the 40 hours, but it's not overtime because it's because of the holiday. So anyway, I already know that, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not worried about getting my 40 hours. I worked almost 10 hours yesterday. I worked 9 hours today. I'm good. I'm like, I'll stay Friday. I'll get overtime on Friday because Friday's a half day. I can take lunch to work. I can eat lunch and I can hang out and work more after hours to get caught up on stuff. I'm like, I don't have to stay late today. And I'm like, I don't care how late everybody else is staying. But I was so surprised and so grateful as I was leaving work, and I was in a good mood and I was happy, and I was just like, I don't care that everybody else is still working and I'm leaving, because I don't have any reason to stay there. It's not like the job doesn't own me. I'm not working. I'm not living to work at this job, basically, is what was going through my head. This is not what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. This is a temporary on the way of something else. This is something this job is already draining me, and I've only done it for a few months. So I either have to figure out how to balance my time better and get some more energy, or find a different job that works better for me, which I usually every 2 to 5 years get a different job anyway, because I can't seem to find something that works better for me. So, but for now, this job works, and I'm grateful that I have a job, and I'm grateful that I can make enough money to pay the bills, even if that's all I make is enough money to pay the bills. But I'm also very grateful that I could just walk away. I didn't feel guilty today. Like, for the first time since I started there, I didn't feel guilty leaving when everybody else was still working. I didn't feel like I had to stay in makeup time or makeup hours. And I wasn't jealous of everybody else that was staying and working and getting hours. And I'm like griping and complaining because I'm not getting the hours. And I was like, I could totally sit there until they told me I had to go home, which is probably like 5:30 or 6, like another half hour to an hour. But I'm like, I'm not staying for that. I don't need this. Like, I'm good. I'm out of here. And I'm so grateful to God for helping me to see the progress that I'm making and for putting those little reminders in my head that I don't have to live to work for this job. This is just a job, and I'm working so that I can pay my bills. That's why I have this job. And as long as I get my hours and it's enough to pay the bills on my paycheck, that's all I owe this job. I don't owe them everything. I don't owe them all my extra time. I don't have to get all the overtime, and I'm not going to get fired over it because they're already short staffed. And so I'm like, it's okay. And they're nice people. And it's not like any of them are demanding and saying, you have to stay, or you can't leave until this is done or this is done. And it's not like I didn't do my job today. Like, I was sitting next to my supervisor today, and I know that I was working the entire time. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, I'm like, she knows I'm working. She knows I'm calling people. She knows I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So when I'm asking to leave at 5 o'clock, I'm like, I'm out of here. It's like, it's okay if I go, right? She's like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, all right. So my supervisor says it's okay for me to go. I've already worked my hours for the day. I don't have to feel guilty. And that was amazing to me. And I thank God so much for showing that to me, for helping me to see that growth in myself and to be okay with just walking away and having a smile on my face. Like, I'm smiling, leaving the office and thinking them poor suckers are all sitting there working and I'm going home. That's kind of how I felt today. And I thought that was fantastic. Maybe not nice for thinking that on their part, but I was like, I don't have to be one of them. I don't have to stay. I don't have to do all that extra stuff. And I'm so grateful that I wasn't putting all that extra stuff on myself today, because sometimes I feel like for this job, I have to do all the extra stuff. I have to keep up with everybody else, or I'm jealous, and all of those things that have been playing in my mind. And not today. Today I'm like, shit, I'm good. I'm good. And I hope that I can continue to have that attitude. But I also think that my attitude is changing and improving because I've been making my videos this week, and because I've been writing in my journal this week, and because I've been reading my scriptures and meditationals. And I know that seems maybe kind of silly, but those are things that help to boost my energy and to make me feel better, and just helps to put my brain in a different perspective, give me a different perspective, give me a more positive attitude. I don't know how to explain it. I know that's God working in my life and helping me to get through my day and to feel positive and grateful and happy for what I'm doing. Plus, when I got home today, I checked, and the DDR Prime that I ordered came in the mail today. It wasn't supposed to come until Friday, but it came today. So that was a nice, happy surprise. I'm very grateful for that too, because I take it sporadically because it costs a lot of money. But then I realized that the ADHD medication costs more money than the DDR Prime. And if I can take the DDR Prime and it has the same effect, I don't know that it helps me to focus, but it does help to boost my mood, and it does help to stave off my depression. So I'm hoping that will be something that helps if I continue to put it into my system, because it's all natural. It's just essential oils, but it is something that works to balance out the chemistry, I think, in my brain. I think it works naturally instead of, with the stimulant medication. But I don't know. I know it's worked for me in the past and it's helped me before, and I just haven't had it because it's always the excuse that I just can't afford it. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe I just can't afford not to be taking it. But like I said, my scriptures and meditationals help, journaling, making my videos, all these things, they add up and they help to boost my confidence and to help me feel good about myself and to be comfortable and confident in what I'm doing, and to just walk away from stuff that's just not important. My job's important enough to keep my job so that I can pay the bills. I'm not just going to walk out of there and lose my job. I'm not saying that by any means, but I'm not putting in the extra time and the extra hours. I'm not going to kill myself for this job because it's just not worth it to me. I will do as much as I have to keep the job, and I will do as much to get, I get overtime like almost every single week. it's only like 1 to 2 hours a week. I think I've got 3 hours is the most overtime I've gotten in a week. So it's not like I get a lot of overtime, but it is overtime. And I'll make it more this week, except that, like I said, it won't be overtime. It'll just be extra hours because the holiday. So anyway, which is probably why they're offering. It's like, hey, then we can catch up for all the stuff we haven't done this week. And it's like, yay, give it to me next week when it actually counts as overtime. And I could literally get like 4 hours of overtime or maybe 5 or 6 hours of overtime. That would be totally worth it. I'll probably still stay Friday because I do want the extra hours. I do want the extra money in my paycheck. But I just don't want to stay past 5 o'clock. I'm like, once 5 o'clock hits, I'm like, I went to work at 7:30. So 7:30 to 5, 9 hours. I'm good. So, I mean, yesterday I went at 6:40 and got off at 5, and I was like, yeah, that's almost 10 hours. I'm like, I'm good. So, anyway, I'm just really grateful for God showing me that, and for the DDR Prime that just surprised me and came in the mail today, and I'm like, yay. And then I came home and I experimented with food, and I made food, and it actually turned out pretty good. And I'm just really grateful for that too. Like, God was just helping me to give me the energy and the motivation to make food. Now, if I could just get myself motivated to write my books, that would be fantastic too. But I have to remember baby steps and one day at a time. And like I said, I'm just grateful for God helping me find ways to work through my emotions and to figure out what I need to do, and to learn things about ADHD and how that works and doesn't work. And maybe all of this is just, getting the right amount of dopamine and hormones, things in my brain working the way that they're supposed to. And maybe that's why I have to do my scriptures and meditations in the morning, and my videos and my journaling, because they're things that help me be creative. They're things that help me to release all of the excess stuff in my brain. And there are things that help me to just be okay with me, instead of trying to feel like I have to fit in with other people all the time and not really fitting in. I feel like I'm the square peg going into a round hole, or maybe I'm a round peg trying to go into a square hole. I'm not really sure how that works. It could be either one depending on the day, seriously. But I'm just grateful for God being in my life, and for helping me to make my videos, and for helping me to see His hand in my life, and for helping me to just be happy and walk away from, doing something that I wasn't happy doing. Like, just walk away at the end of the day and be like, I'm done. And then I can come home and take my clothes off and change. I remember my sponsor friend used to tell me, when I used to work at the Justice Court, it's a totally different job, and I was stressing about work. She said, when you come home, take work off. Like, take your clothes off, change your clothes, change your outfit, and then work is off when you take your clothes off. And I was like, oh. And today I was like, I swear work was off as soon as I walked out the door. I'm like, I am so done with work today. It does not even matter. I am so done. I'm like, see you later. I'm out of here, and I don't care. And it was fantastic. And then, of course, I came home and I did change, and so that's nice. And I can put my earrings in. I haven't worn these earrings in a really long time, and that made me happy too, because I come home and put my earrings in because I'm not allowed to wear earrings at work. Okay, that's not entirely true. It's just that all of the earrings I like to wear are dangly earrings, and I kept getting in trouble because my earrings are too long, and I was like, how are they too long? They're not even that long. But apparently they didn't think they were professional because they're too long. And the ones that I have, the shorter ones, are the ones that have the little holes in the back that go straight back. When you're on the phone all the time, and then you got the back of the earring just poking into your neck or your head the whole day, and then I'm like getting sores on the back of my ear, so I'm like, I can't wear those to work because I have to have the phone on all the time. And then I end up taking my earrings out, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose my earrings if I do that, because they're itty bitty things. So I just won't wear earrings to work, so I don't have to deal with it. And I can't get in trouble for wearing the wrong length of earring, and I don't have to worry about getting sores on my head from wearing the earrings that they would consider to be professional. But I can come home and I can wear my earrings, and I can change, and I can take work off, and it makes me happy that I can still do that I can still do things for me, and I don't have to give up all of those things, even if I have to just give it up temporarily while I'm working there. So I'm just grateful for those little reminders and those little things in my life, that God is telling me that things are just temporary, that this is just, that I don't have to give up everything, and I just have to do it for work. I don't have to do it for the entire day. And I'm so grateful for all of those things. So very grateful for all of those things. and just grateful that I can still sit down and make my videos. So thank you for watching these videos. And if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.